Hello, David here. Now this is on my phone camera, so I'm going to give you a quick walk around my 94 Toyota Supra as best I can. Hope the quality is still good. Alright, so the first things, it's a manual, 5-speed manual with the GE engine. So it's just in a straight 6 in there. Now I have driven this. So won't be able to show you cold starting. I've got a separate video I could show you for that. I'm just gonna start it up on a cold start. But it starts up every first time, every time. Really, I actually got the actually had the car washed a few days ago, so the paint comes up great. We don't have much sunlight at the moment, it's a bit cloudy, but it comes up. Some important things first, it comes with 2 keys with the alarm remotes. One needs to be cut, but I haven't had time to get around to that, and also the last time I tried to do that, the locksmith actually stuffed it up, so I had to buy a new key. But just have a quick look of the interior. It's pretty good. I'm just gonna show it running first. Engine runs really smoothly. Battery was replaced a few months ago, so the battery I've replaced in my ownership, and it's been good. I've had to replace the radiator because there was I had a leak, so I just replaced the whole radiator. And actually, when I first got this, I found out that I had to replace this front bumper. I had to replace the front bumper support because it was quite worn down and it wasn't holding the front bumper up really well, so I had to do that. Recently, my recent service has just been premium coolant premix and also 10W50 full synthetic Penrite oil, and also I have a premium oil filter in there. I've just changed that as well. Recently, I changed the air filter, so that's the previous one. Looks really rough, so there we go, that's the new one, so that's a big difference. Makes a lot of, makes the world of difference. I've also had to change the drive belt. As you can see, it's pretty rugged and on its end of its life, so drive belt's still good. Hang on. Also, I've got 2 extra filters up there because this breather hose actually snapped right here. So I've actually had to replace that. In here, I've got my Viper alarm. I've got it on the loudest setting, so it'll go off. It'll go off at the loudest setting, so that's all good. Pretty sweet in there. Some things I had to do to get it roadworthy before I could daily it. I had to change the brake lines because they were really worn. I actually had to replace the disc rotors and pads, and I've recently done that as well. So you can see I've got the, not really good shot to show you, but I've got vented disc rotors all around and titanium brake pads. And on these rears, I've also done this recently, I've got the Dunlop Sportmax rear tyres. So those are pretty much brand new, and yeah, like I can't even touch the end of the groove, so that there's plenty of tread left. I'd say even around 80 to 90% tread. So that's all good. When I did get this, it also had an oil leak. I had that cleaned up by my mechanic as well. Another thing, my headlights were quite badly sun faded, so what I had to do was I had to readjust the beams, and some of the globes need replacing, like the Parkers, and also we got rid of some of that sun fade, so that's all nice. Oh, spark plugs as well. I went with the premium spark plugs, and also that's the code for the drive belt. I got all of these I got from Super Cheap because I've got a Club Plus membership, so that is all good. Another thing for roadworthy, I'll just come and show you. These were the front seat belts that was in it. They were actually Australian standard, so they weren't actually Toyota standard. So these were replaced at some time, and they just wouldn't retract. So what I've got now, no shortcuts. I went for near brand new, genuine Toyota seatbelts. Don't know if you can see the tag very well. There you are, Toyota seatbelts. So genuine seatbelts in there. Quick look at the interior. Sorry, it's a bit rough. Just trying to put as much information in the one video. So the rear seats, there is rips there. I'd admit, you know. But what I have replaced is this back headset, because if you have a look here, it was quite worn from sun fade. So that was my rear seat for a month, and I just hated it. It was hideous. And of course the back seat comes right up at the hatch, so whenever someone's behind me or when it's parked, you can just easily see it there, and it was pretty horrendous. So I've got another one of that. Folds down like it's supposed to, so no problem there. I can show you the boot later. Doing this one-handed is pretty tricky, but I'll try my best. So rear seat belt stays in, and then both of them just retract like that, so there's no problem there. It's really awesome. Rear speakers. Now, I don't know if you can see over there, it's pretty horrendous. I don't have the cover for that, because I was going to organise getting speakers. However, I found out that there wasn't even any wires, speaker wires, running through to the front doors. So what I've done is I've taken my dash apart, and I've wired up from the my head unit. I bought a new head unit, so then it does aux and USB and Bluetooth even. And I've got wires into these door cards, but all you need to do is just get some custom housing, and then chuck some speakers in. And I actually got speakers in the back that I'll supply to the new buyer as well. So we come in. Yeah, phone camera's not really that good, so passenger seat just works on manual forwards, backwards, but what I'll do is I'll turn it on. All the driver's electronics work, so you've got I'll just put my steering lock out of the way. We've got electric, so sliding backwards and forwards. And then also this rear headrest also comes electronically backwards and forwards. So that's all electronic, that all works. One thing I haven't gotten a replacement for the in-cabin light. So that's the only bulb you would have to get for there. Sun visors working all right. You've got your glove box. Need to tidy that up a little bit, but that all works. This top one doesn't have a clip, but still functions pretty well. And then also I've got my center console here. Now, this one's got a lid. The one I had before didn't actually have a lid, so that's another thing I've had to replace. Aircon works really, really well. So on high on aircon, and just it's blowing right at me. I don't know if you'll get on camera, but then rear demister, front demister, all of these work perfectly well, and you can hear the system changing to whatever mode you have it on, and then turn it off just there. So that all works as well. Now, a clock works. Just these little buttons that were meant to be here so you can set it. actually fell off. So all you'll need to do is when it hits 12 o'clock, remove the battery quickly, put it back on, and then you'll be on 12. So clock still works, just you'll need to line it up with the actual time. So all warning lights come up on when it's on, like usual. And there's my kilometers there. It's not, I don't like seeing that big of a number, but I've had this regularly maintained, and I've had a major service recently, and my mechanic really loves how this thing goes. Hasn't caused me any troubles other than the radiator needing replacing, so that's all good. So yeah, I have warmed it up a little bit, so it's already warmed up. In the center there is when it's warmed up. Now, this warning, this is the main warning light there. It doesn't go off until you close the door, which I've got open now, and you've got the handbrake down. So when you've got those things, then those will go down. So I had someone that was a bit like, oh, why isn't it going? Is there something wrong? And I'm like, no, it's just a safety feature actually. Some other things, I got these custom boot covers mailed in because the other one was quite worn, especially for the gear stick. I've got a TOD genuine gear knob I bought from a local imports supplier, and I'll have a receipt for that as well. Not much else to really tell you about inside the cabin, so I'll come back out. My Starcourt rims on all round, it's pretty good. I'll just quickly show you the boot actually. Okay, so I actually turned my camera off for a second. Okay, the boot is a bit heavy because the gas struts don't have gas in them, so either I'd recommend replacing with new boot struts. But the boot here, so these are the speakers that I've got in here, and I've got a spare set of tail lights. These ones are perfectly fine, but I just have no use for them, so they can go to the next buyer. The boot light does work, and under here I've got a picture, but I've got the spare tyre and tools under there that came with the car, so that's all good. And I believe these are the clips for what you can get is a rear like boot visor. I don't have that, but that's there as well. And back here, all the tail lights work. Got my bend tow hook, and I've got my excess power exhaust system. Runs from the stock hand downpipe, so unfortunately no mufflers, which I believe is illegal in Queensland. But that is, I haven't had any complaints from police about noise or emissions, so shouldn't have any problem there. Just go in the passenger one as well. These door mirrors are electric as well, and they work as well, so that's all the electronics that work, so you won't have to worry about replacing the wires or anything. Still on stock suspension, the rear suspension, sorry, it's got aftermarket Japanese shocks, I believe, but it's legal ride height, so if you're getting this roadworthy, then you shouldn't have any problem with how low it is. So that makes it pretty easy. Just here again, just to demonstrate, this is the condition of the center console I did have, so no lid, so that's what I replaced. I've got multiple receipts in here for when I put 98 in, always put in 98, and my Super Cheap Auto products are also got receipts here. And I've got my rego paper as well, so no dramas there. Now, other extras that are coming with the car, I've got a pod filter, not legal in ACT, but I believe it's legal other places, other states, so chucking that in for free because I don't have a use for it. And also got a antenna. My antenna doesn't work. I actually disconnected it in the boot because it kept on making an annoying sound when it tried to go up, but of course there's no antenna that can go up, so it was just an annoying noise that happened every single time I turned on and off the car. So I've got a genuine antenna that you can put on there, so that's for free. And I'm also going to supply the Viper box and like instructions and everything. So like for example, the parkers don't come on when I lock or unlock the car, so if you want to fiddle around more with that, then you can. And then I've got my new clutch to put in that I haven't have time or the money to put in, but exceedingly heavy duty, so it's had a little bit of life in it. I bought it off a mate that I really trust, and he said he's put a few thousand kilometers on it, but he said it works completely fine, and yeah, it looks pretty neat as well. Just had a bit of life, so you'll be able to put that in as well, because the clutch is slipping, and you notice that when you're going uphill. But other than that, it's really nice. So if you've got any more questions about the car, again, let me know. I've got pictures, I've got the video of it cold starting, for example. So yeah, if there's anything else, just let me know. But I really believe the next buyer will fall in love with it just as much as I have. It's been awesome, just not very practical for me as a daily at the moment. And yeah, and I'm going towards a different route, so... But I do believe the next buyer will absolutely love this.
Shake.
So yeah, that's it. See ya.